Are you looking for a faster video? Well, today it's a live stream and I know you're probably looking for a really nice and tidy edited down video, but I have ways for you to make it faster. You can click that little gear on the YouTube settings right there on the video and adjust the playback speed, make me sound like a chipmunk, and it'll go a lot faster. You can also look and see if there's timestamps for this project in the description, and if you're on a desktop, you can hover over the time bar at the bottom of the screen and see if it's chunked up into chapters, and then that way you can go directly to the step you're looking for. And lastly, you can also tap on the screen on the right hand side of the video picture or on the left hand side to make the video jump ahead, forward or backward if you're on a mobile device. And you can adjust that amount in your settings so you can have complete control over how much it jumps. So if you are on a desktop, you can use the fast forward or the rewind, and that will make it go faster as well. You can also enable subtitles, and the little CC on the screen will enable closed captioning. That way, if I am a little bit harder to understand with that double playback speed, the subtitles might help you out. All right, well, I know that it's not a nice little edited video, but if you sew with me, we'll get there together and it'll be lots of fun. And now for the live stream. Happy sewing! Okay, again, how's the audio? I think I figured it out. In fact, it looks like it's really high now. Let's see, is that a little better? Hello, Walter. Hi, Nancy. Nello. How's it going? All right, let me know how the sound and everything looks. I figured out something about the wireless microphone, so anyway. Walter and Nancy are like, hi, Walter. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Walter. How's it going? So today we're going to talk about we're going to continue our talk about blocks and slopers. And I was going to focus on like resources for making your own, but I'm going to do better than that. And I'll tell you a little bit more once a lot of folks get in here. Hi, Dar. Hi, Allison. Audio's good? Nice. Okay. And you have room to turn it up? And should I turn it down? And how is it in relation to the intro stuff? The jingle and the long blah, blah, blah thing about speed. Hi, Sydney. How are you? How's it going? All right, so on Thursday, we talked a lot about like what my phone, when I post my little like, I'm live on it on Instagram, my phone doesn't go to sleep. So you're driving, Walter? Okay, okay. Nice, Libby. Okay, yeah, exactly. Hi, Julia. How's it going? Drive safe, Walter. We'll try and read chat for you so you don't miss a thing. Oh, welcome from Cape Town. I used to have a friend who used to go there a lot because her husband was from there. Louder in the intro, but better now. Okay. Which intro? The jingle? I know the jingle is like hecka loud. Your phone? Okay. Oh, cool, Sydney. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it. I'm trying to keep up, you guys. Hello, Ray. How are you? Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. I cannot believe it's the end of May. I bet all those Me Made May posters are so happy. I remember at the beginning of May going, I can't believe that I don't have like some grand plan. It's my birthday month. It's Me Made May. And I just knew, I don't really think I should probably commit to posting something every day. I also feel like it's a little bit show-offy when I do it because I'm just kind of like, all my stuff, I wear only handmade stuff. And so, but I've had a lot of time to do that, you know? It's noticeable when I'm not. I have a couple things that I just really like that I keep, you know? So, all right. So, like I said, Thursday we've started talking about why you need a block. Well, I don't think you need one. I think if you want one, these are what you can do with it, why you may want one, some strategies. And just to recap a little bit, I have done videos on how to draft your own from measurement. So fully flat pattern style. Someone had a really funny term for this the other day. I'm trying to remember, it was good. I've shown how I drape them. Those are definitely in my video playlist, probably in draping and drafting playlists. So, right, Sydney? I know, exactly. I like the folks that are like, here's what I wore all week, and I'm only going to post the things that I haven't already worn. Those are options out there. And the thing is, like, could I sit here and tell you how to draft your block and all that? I could. But I'm just going to be really honest and plain with you. I really love sewing with you guys. And while I have these skills and stuff like that, I feel like there's just so many amazing resources out there. And if I saw a lot of you going, like talking about drafting and talking about making your block and putting that, like having that time to put into it, I'd be all about it. But the thing is, I feel like it's a lot of work. And it's worth it, but at the same time, it's one of those things you got to kind of gear up for mentally and kind of setting aside the space, setting aside the fact that you might not be making any really cool, fun stuff for a bit because you're focused on that. And it is kind of one of those things that when you start it, it's not like it takes months. Like literally you could do it in a weekend, you know, like it could be your weekend project. I think that there's a lot of, it's like fitting pants. It's a lot of, what do you call it? Like nervousness around it, right? It kind of is one of those things where it's like, oh, I don't know, you know, that might lead to me feeling things about my size or my body or being frustrated. And I feel like it's funny that is what we're going to feel maybe when we're making a block, when the whole goal is to get something that's custom fit and then you have this tool to use, right? But I also think like it's one of those things where it's like, unless you plan on getting a lot of use out of, maybe you don't really want to spend the time on it. Maybe you don't mind making adjustments to patterns. But it is very useful for, you know, laying, like once you have your block, you know, laying it on a store-bought pattern and going, all right, I can just adjust this shoulder and armhole because I know I've already done all this work and it's right here. Does that work on every store-bought pattern? No, because you might have a set-in sleeve block, but you're using a raglan. You bought a raglan, you know, and then you'd have to draft a raglan sloper. You don't have to draft a raglan sloper. You just alter your sloper to a raglan. Like once you have your sloper, you're golden, unless you change a lot in size, and everyone does over the years, right? So I have a block, but that's because I do draft my own things, and I don't do it as much now because I sew with you guys, and I really love that. I really love like talking about like fit issues and sewing issues and things like that. So that all being said, just because I'm not going to teach you how to do it doesn't mean that I'm not going to give you the resources to. And if you guys wanted to go down that path, I'm fully with you there. I'm just doing what I feel like is the most useful. So, hi, Mrs. Necro. Not late. Yep. You're not late at all. Hello, hello. Hi, Malin. How's it going? I need a drink. Sorry. I was a little late because I was taping together these blocks. And I was late here because my husband was like, do you think I can drive the tractor over this little ravine? And so I was out there eating my breakfast, watching him kind of troubleshoot it. And then I was like, I really gotta get to work. Like I got a big topic going on today. He's like, yeah, okay. So I spent a lot of time on ye old interwebs yesterday, and I looked at, I think, 40 different pattern companies. And I stuck to pattern companies that are known to have patterns that have a more inclusive size range, just so I could possibly offer you some good starting points if you didn't want to draft your block from scratch. So I was hoping I would have this list of like 10 bodice possibilities, and you'd be like, oh, I already have that pattern, or oh, I like patterns from that company. They fit me pretty good already. Maybe I will try that as a block, right? So my 40 websites later was very disappointing. I think I found 3 possible options and they're meh. But what I did do was I looked at some of the custom sites that kept coming up, and I just was like, well, you know what, why not sew 3 more of these? The reason I'm not just like, this is all about trying all the custom sloper building and block building sites out there is because price-wise, it'll start adding up. Like one of them was $17, another one was $1.99. One of them was free, one of them was £8. So I did 3 more, and I think this is gonna be really fun. I've taped 2 of them together. So on Thursday, I cut and sewed the freesewing.org block, and there's a men's and a women's on there, or with boob, without boob. So yeah, Allison, exactly. Yeah, and Allison, one of the blocks I'm doing today is bootstrap. So yeah, the duct tape dress forms. You know, Allison, the one that I got hung up on was the pant form where she used expanding foam. I still want to try that. Yeah, and Nancy's made 2 bootstrap dress forms, so she's our resource maven on this topic. So, hey Libby. I already said hi to you, sorry. You get so sick of FBAs. Yeah. Yeah, see, and I think that that's a really good point. And so Libby sent me the links to this really interesting company yesterday. And I'm going to show it to you because, or she sent it to me on Thursday. But when I saw this, I was like, this is all I need. Like, for me, I just need to see sometimes a picture of the pattern piece, and I'm like, oh, okay, I know how to do that. But that's just how my brain works. That I don't like toot my own horn a lot, but one of the things that I came pre-built with was a really good spatial sense. So even if I don't know how to do something, once I see it, it kind of clicks for me. And like I always say, I can parallel park anything into any spot. Like that's just one of the weird things I got in life. Doesn't mean I know how to do everything. No, absolutely not. So it's just one of those weird things that I didn't even have to learn in college. It's just, I was really lucky. So when I saw this site, it was pretty cool. Okay, I have a ton of tabs open right now. So I think it's this one. Yeah. So for all of you, those folks out there who like the, I'm pulling up the computer here. Can you guys hear me on this tab? Tell me you can hear me too, because I don't remember if I sorted out that weird audio bug issue I was having. Oh, and I have to be able to look at chat. All right, I'm gonna wait to see if chat is, if you can hear me first. Or here, wait. I can unmute myself on there. If you're watching this recorded, just tap on the right-hand side. It's tab. Okay, cool. All right, I know now I can hear myself. All right, so this, oh, where'd it go? This right here, this Sewinglabmilano.com, and if you go to this tutorials page, if you're really into like runway and ready-to-wear looks, you can, this is pretty cool. These designs are definitely not things you see me wear, right? But I love that, look at that, there's the dress, and then they have a schematic of the pattern right there. And so if you have your block, then they give you the tutorials on how to do all of these things on their website. And I think you can do, look at this, pattern request. So I'll put this link in the chat. Oh, I forgot I can just right click and paste it. Here. There we go. So anyway, that is a pretty cool resource, and I think that there's a lot of folks, especially folks that are really into, like I said, like ready to wear and designer stuff. So that could be really fun. And even if you're not, it is really cool seeing the pattern pieces. Like that kind of, that's pretty good eye candy for me. So, all right, so that's one pretty like extreme example of what you could do with your block. Hi, Barbara, how's it going? All right, so I downloaded 3 custom blocks, and I chose these because the links of inclusive patterns led me to these. I did not do the pattern string codes one that I brought up the other day. It's $17, and I know it's only $17, but I don't need a block. So if someone wants to pay for it and have me do it, I would totally do it, but then it'll be my block. So you might as well just buy it for yourself and try it out. But let's see how these go today. So I did Bootstrap Fashion, Pattern Lab, and one called Sewist. And the one called Sewist, and I'm going to link all these. The one called Sewist, every time I try and find it, it's really hard. And I got there through this pattern website called Lekala, L-E-K-A-L-A. I might be pronouncing that incorrectly. By the way, they have pretty cool patterns. I hate it when websites are really confusing and you're like, where am I on this website? Like, why is the browser bar not say the website name anymore and it says sewist.com? So that was there. So finally I just dropped the fact that it's from Lekala. It's from this company called Sewist, and I don't really know how it's all connected. Maybe they're one and the same. I don't know. It's really confusing. And I will also say that each one of these sites is very different from the next when you put your pattern, when you put your measurements in, and when you select your block, and when you print it, and when you download it. They were all different, and a couple of them were extremely finicky. And I feel like it's the Sewist one that was the most finicky. So here, I'm going to show you, I should have just kept it on my computer. I'm going to show you, oops. I'm on the right hand, okay, cool. I love when you can see all my recommended. All right, so this is Pattern Lab right here. Patternlab.london. It looks like that's the website. And there's different styles here of a block and everything. And, you navigate this carefully because I'm pretty sure you can get one. Yeah, so you can get one for a size. And this is what I did. Oh, that's right. On this one, I actually did size 16 because it's really close to my size, but you can do custom measurements. And these are all the sizes, and you actually have to click on that box, see? So when you're here, click on the box, and then it populates. All right, and then this is this one here. Hi, Elena, how's it going? My chat is on the right-hand screen. All right, there we go. Okay, the other one, this is the Sewist site, and they have lots of different blocks here. Now, this is not a block, by the way. Not a block. Not a block. This is a block. This is a block. And I mean, really, it should just be a bodice, a skirt, and a trouser. Those are the blocks. There's no menswear here. I apologize. Free Sewing does have a menswear option, and I think Bootstrap might as well, but we'll check. So the one I went for is waist seam. Yeah, wait, what's this one here? Semi-fitted, and this is fitted. Semi-fitted and fitted. $1.99, by the way. They're on sale. 50 cents off. All right, so then we did this. I think it's this one I did. This is sewist.com. I can't tell because it's in centimeters. So right here, sorry I can't see the chat. Let me make sure. Okay, so right here, you can get a standard size, or you can do your own measurements. There's imperial and metric. This was super frickin' fussy. I'm just gonna warn you guys, but it's only $2. And I don't know what was going on, but every time I said add to cart, it would just take me back to this page. And I don't know why, but what worked, once I had all this, because it's not very many measurements, it's not too bad. It's really not bad. Like you have very few here, so we'll see. I think I put get a free preview right here, and then the next time I said put it in my cart, it worked. And I also clicked slowly, and I know that's probably not gonna make a difference, but I was kind of at that point where I was like, click, you know, because I was getting pretty frustrated with it because I could see it flash on the screen and then disappear. I don't know what any of this is, the coins, the Pro, whatever, but you can buy this, and let's see, it costs $1.99, all right? So here's this one. I'm cutting and sewing each of these today, so, sorry. You guys are all quiet. Makes me nervous when you're this quiet, but I know you're just listening. Okay, here's the last one I'm doing today, because I already did the free sewing on Thursday. So I say in the thing it's 4, because I'm going to show you all 4 at the end together, is bootstrap. And like Allison said, and Nancy have said, they do custom stuff. I feel like a lot of us have heard of these folks as well, and they do patterns as well. A lot of these companies do patterns too. You don't have to make a block. You can actually get a custom pattern with your measurement. And so if it's only $2, you might as well try it, right? All right, so this one's $10. What was the one that was $7.99? Was that Pattern Lab? Yeah, Pattern Lab was the one. It was $7.99 pounds. I don't know what that translated to in dollars, but there you go. So the bootstrap, this is the one I did today, I'm pretty sure. The measurements are kind of all over, jiggly, whatever, all over the page here. And the belly protuberance is, you know, I can relate to this very much. So, but it gives you a 3D scan of what they think your body looks like. And I could literally set a cup of coffee on the belly they gave me. It was a little shelf. I was like, all right, bootstrap, now we're going to have words. So I don't know about that. But so don't do the pattern preview. I think that just lets you look at it. Sorry, I bumped the microphone. Unless you're an experienced pattern drafter, you might want to look at it because maybe you're doing something you're like, how's it going to look? I just added it to cart. $10. So yeah, this one you can actually say what seam allowance you want. And then if you're not sure what your shoulder slope is, you know, there's some, you know, I love how she has underwear on, but nothing up top. And then there's the shoulder slope there. I mean, why not, right? Guys don't have to wear a top. So yeah, anyway. And you want probably print. You don't want this one because you most likely don't have a CAD program. So just select print. There's a lot of help with this one, I think, too. I'm pretty sure that this is the one that gives you like a help on how to print it and everything. All right, so I'm gonna go back to the chat and we'll keep on with the taping together. I have only one more to tape here. So, okay, cool, Nancy. That's so great to hear. So Walter, Nancy says she would bet her money on the bootstrap. Her dress form came out eerily exactly like her. I'm narrating for Walter who's driving. So, you're hook and bra clothes, you wear your Sasha trousers. Oh, nice. Right, Ray? I know. Belly shelves for the win. Yeah, the degree. Yeah, you know, Ray, that's funny. I saw that today again because, all right, so I do have bad news about the free sewing. I went and checked my measurements and they were all okay. They were fine. None of them needed to be changed, even 1/4 inch. So I really don't know why that armhole is like that or that shoulder. So, but could I make that one work? I could, but I also have a dress form, you know, so. All right, so a couple other things that I want to mention. Like I said, some of these were a little fiddly, so just take your time on the site if you're wanting to do it, and persevere, and you'll get there. The other thing is, here's my pet peeves for these 3 companies who are definitely have no idea who I am and are not listening. you need to frickin' name your frickin' pattern by your company, because when you have 3 of these open in your PDF reader, I couldn't tell who was who. It was really, really confusing. I do not know. Look at this mess here. Hello, Charm Pink. Welcome. Oh, you're okay, Walter. You're welcome. I think if I had like a avenue of a dream job, it would be to be an audiobook reader. And I think I'd be really terrible at it too, but I would love to do it. So like this one, I wrote down Bootstrap because I was like, all right, I don't know which one's which. Bootstrap, look at this one. This is the Sewist one. No information on there, and they put my stuff to centimeters. Each of these has a sleeve, and I want to say 2 of them came with the skirt. The Pattern Lab sleeve is Funkorama because they made it like it's a gathered at the cuff. Let's see, here's the sleeve on this one. See how wide that is? There's no taper, but no big deal, right? Okay. All right, so I've taped these 2 together to save you guys some time because I love you. And that's why I was a little late today. So I just need to tape this one together here. Oh, this is the other thing I wanted to say is, oh, look at this one, doesn't have a bounding box. Screw you, Pattern Lab. I like to trim the corners off. This is really nice though. There's a lot of really nice information on this Pattern Lab one. This was the one that was really funky when I was putting it into my cart. Wait, or was that Sewist? Ugh. I think that was Pattern Lab. No. It was the Sewist one that was funky about my cart. Let me look at it again. Yeah. So Pattern Lab does have this kind of, a lot of information on here. And at least look, they put their company name on there. This looks very much like a CAD program I've used and very professional. But you know what's funny is that those 2 don't have like a 4-inch square or something like that, you know, so that you can kind of go, okay, is my print the same? I just left it at the actual size, you know. So, all right, so let's get this ready here. The other thing that's interesting is, and this is probably going to make a lot of you laugh, is I've never come across this print style where it's page numbers by column and row like that. 10. So that's column 10, row 1. I have never come across that before, and so that, you know, remember I did that with the free sewing the other day, and it went from the bottom up. That was a little hard. Oh boy, there's no corners. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. I hope this is right. I don't have any, like, look at this, isn't fitting on the page here. That makes me a little nervous. This doesn't look like it's right. Oh, you know what? I take it back. Right here, they're very, very, very small. There is a box. There is some stuff here. And that does match. But maybe I have the wrong page for this one, page size. I selected US letter where I could. Oh, I forgot to mute my computer. All right, so I'm gonna try my method. We'll see. Oh, there's a lot of blank pages here. I'm nervous. I really hope this, why didn't I notice this yesterday? What the heck? Well, we'll try. I'll start taping it together and we'll see how far we go. I owe you a block if this one didn't print out correctly. That was the funny thing, is when you're, this column and row style of layout, while it is very logical once you realize that's what's happening, it's really hard to print the pages you want and skip pages, because you can't do it consecutively then because it's by row and column. And that was a little like, I don't want to print, you know, 10 extra pages. All right. Oh, okay, so there is a bunch of blank pages here. All right, so let's try it. Anyway, how are you guys doing? Entertain me now. Do they all use the same font? You mean each of these companies? I doubt it. I don't know. Do you have a font that you prefer, like as far as visibility goes? I feel like one of them had some adjustment capabilities as far as maybe dark mode and light mode, and also like hue and saturation. The first row always goes together. But like right here, I don't have anything to line up right here. There's like nothing on these pages. There's a plus sign right here. I'm just looking at it, and that is what it looks like. So we'll just hope for the best here. I'm really excited though to try all 3 of these out and put them on the dress form. So you got to be careful, like some of these lines are, I can't see them because they're under my taping. Oh, I have other news. I tried the cord from my old serger cover stitch on my new cover stitch, and it's much longer and it works. So that's awesome. That cord feels so long now, and remember I used to always struggle with it too. Oh, oh, neat. Oh, I did see that. That is looking really good. You're going to the garden store to get some veggie starts? What kind of veggies are you growing this year? Ray usually has a veggie garden too. We have tomatoes going and some peppers, and that's about it. All right. I always cut my things away. I know it's a little nerve-wracking for some folks that I do this, but my table is so tiny now, you know? So I think, see, this has a plus sign there. Let's see how this one lines up, because this is the corner. There's no plus sign. Oh yeah, see, I do feel like I'm missing some. All right, let's tape these 2 together. Yeah, you just painted your house too. Hi Sue, how's it going? Oh, that's true, Ray. That might help. All right, so let's see here. So if I just put that there, look at this, does not line up. I can probably figure it out, but that's not feeling very accurate. Shoot, well, why did that happen? Is this meant for, was this the one I said was pounds? This one looks so nice and clear and accurate. Look at, there's an apex and a bust line. I'm going to show you on this one. So I don't know if you can see it, but right here, there is a very faint dotted line going like this to this apex. None of those others have this. And then that dotted line, I guess that would help me get this one together here. You know? I could figure this out. I could actually figure this out. I kind of want to now. B5, this is the sleeve. All right. tape you together. All right, Carrie. Yeah, I was doing the modern version of that, wasn't I? All right, see, I think that if I line up my center front here, like this, with this line, can you guys see this very well? How about I take down the brightness a little bit? Lettuce, broccoli, that's a good assortment. I like that. And do you guys want to zoom in a little bit? Nice and close. That's a little better. Lemon, cucumbers, zucchini. I can never resist lemon cucumbers as well, but man, a few go a long way. Okay, so if I lay this, my center front here, I lay this ruler here. And now I'm going to position the ruler right here, and then I need another ruler to go on this line here. This little dashed line that I can continue there. It's like a puzzle, and I love puzzles. Why is that? I don't know. Can that work? Oh, that's not my center front line. This is. Oh, goody. Okay. Okay, yeah. It's only like 1/4 of an inch different. Look at that. All right, so there's my center front line, and there's that dashed line. I feel good about that. Okay. And now, because I have this one here, because I had these 2 triangulation points, now I can attach the sleeve to this one and this one back to this one, and we're good. Just gotta use the noggin. See, so we can attach this here that I just cut off. Like this. And then this one here. And maybe this is a good lesson, so you might check your printer format in relation to theirs. They are not lemony, Julia. They are just round and yellow and look like a lemon, but they taste identical to a cucumber. Oh, you do some capsicum? That is, I know what that is. Okay, so now this one, oh, didn't have that taped over there. All right, so now we have this here. And now let's just put our sleeve, and we're ready to start cutting and sewing. Here we go. There's some plus signs down here. You can't really see them because, there we go. That's cool. My husband loves making roasted cauliflower. Do I love it when he makes roasted cauliflower? I mean, I'll eat it. It's fine. It's pretty good roasted. That's really the only way I like to eat it. Okay, I need to tape these 2 together here. All right, so now I can cut this apart again. And we'll just finish out this sleeve and then we're ready. I don't really care as much about the bottom of this sleeve down here. And it might be a little hard to figure out where to tape those. What is that? That'll be C5 and C6 and 7. Right here. Because that's just the length of the sleeve. Really all we're caring about is the cap. Okay. Oh, peppers, yeah, okay. Yeah, exactly. Because I see that name on there so often when we're buying those as starts. All right. So I'm not quite sure where the bottom of the sleeve is going to go. If it's the same distance as this gap here, it's about 1/4 inch. Oh, and I didn't include that edge there. That'll be okay though. So we'll just kind of put it on here roughly where we think it is. Like I said, not concerned. This is the sleeve that is really weird that it's not like tapered here. Slash and slash. I mean, that is pretty cool that they're showing you. This is how it should be. You see that there's an elbow line here. Is there a bicep line? So yeah, wait, bust ease 3 point. It gave me 4 inches of bust ease. Holy moly. You could specify the cap, sleeve cap ease on this one, which was pretty cool. The maximum was 1 1/8. That's fine. All right. Let me just trim off all this extra hoo-ha. And then we'll cut these out. Hi, Catherine. You're getting a little overwhelmed. How come? Don't worry, I'm sewing it. Maybe we won't like this one and it'll all be okay, right? We'll be like, oh good, I don't have to order that one. I sometimes just never know what I'm going to be doing when I'm like, we're going to talk, well, crap. We're going to talk blocks. And then I'm like, what does that mean? You know? And I have to think, like, what would I want if I were you? What would I want? What would I want? And I sometimes spend so much time trying to identify that I literally leave myself with, you know, a day to prepare. So I just decided like on resources. And so when I started looking at all those resources, I'd kind of looked at a few. And then yesterday I really dug down into it because I made myself a spreadsheet and everything. And I visited, yeah, like 40 websites. When I started running into a lot of the custom ones, that's when I was like, well, what do these cost, you know? Why not? The other thing I would love to research is you can just buy a block and it's kind of like doing this but without putting your measurements in. So I would argue that the Pattern Lab one, this one here, I didn't do a custom. So technically this one's not a custom one because their size 16 was my measurements and I just got lucky, right? But you can do the custom thing if you want. So, oh, Carrie, you're getting a new bird. Oh, you are? Wait, what's your bird's name again? The little Quaker parrot. What's his name again? I know you've told us. Okay. Let's make some room. Let's get ready to sloper. I need all the space. Okay. And you have to put up with my crazy fabrics. We'll do the back of this one again. I have waves. This one's not very white on the back. Let's do this one. Ah, Ray! Thank you. Got the alerts working too. All right. So this one is the center back, and I placed it on the fold. I'm pretty sure this is the one you can say, do you want the back on the fold, the front on the fold, something like, you know, like that. And I put the back on the fold, and then the front with the seam. I'm going to cut these off so I can put that on the fold. Look at that curvy front there. So I really loved some of those comments I got on the Friday sews yesterday. And Terry's not here, right? Terry wrote one that I was just like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, she said she was in a chat once and the people accused her of wanting more fabric than she paid for when she was talking about having her fabric cut on the grain somewhere. Like, what? What? Who are you people? What I like at the center front, and I highly recommend you do this too, when you make your block and you're fitting it on yourself, give yourself a 1-inch extension from the center front line out. It makes it a lot easier to put it on and put it off because you're probably trying it on you. It's nice to have a little bit more there to overlap. Like it's just easier than like overlapping a 1/4 of an inch and trying to pin it together. This just makes it so that it's probably going to touch at least, and even if it's not perfectly, at least it gives you some traction, you know, something to grab, you know. So I didn't do that on my free sewing one because I didn't think about it. I've never done a sloper without that 1 inch. And so now doing different ones, I realize, oh, I need to think about this. And then make sure you notch it so you know where that fold line is and you're going to iron it back. All right, so let's notch these dart legs. There's only one waist dart on this one. You know what we'll do? We're going to cheat. We're going to do that. And we're going to mark the apex. That's my screw punch. Very much a pattern drafting tool. All right, so we have our front, and we're going to sew it inside out. Okay. Pattern Lab. Yeah, I know. Exactly right. Oh my gosh, Sydney, you rebel. I've been rewatching the Gilmore Girls lately just to have on in the background. And there's that one episode where the front desk dude, Michelle, he thinks that there's someone, like one of the employees is staying overnight in the hotel that they all run. Because the little the pillow mints are missing and some of the beds are rumpled, and they find out it's because Suki, the chef, she's a new mom and she's pregnant again. She just can't bear going home and not being able to hear her favorite program on the TV. So she's been like kicking it back in the hotel. I can so relate to that. And, you know. So if you have a dress form, I highly recommend that you cut a full block, like the whole front, the whole back. One sleeve is enough. In fact, I'd say only one sleeve because it's nice to be able to see your armhole without a sleeve on it, on the other armhole. So don't just do a half because it's really easy to trick yourself into something fitting better than it does or worse than it does with only half, because if you're trying it on you, finding your center line is a little tricky. You might be able to find your center line, but your body is also asymmetrical. So just be careful with that. Yeah, exactly. That's such a funny episode. That show is both obnoxious and comforting and entertaining. Like, it's all three of those things. And so, like, politically incorrect in so many places. I was like, wow, this doesn't feel like that long ago, you know? All right. I'm gonna quick and dirty my vanishing points of my darts with the screw punch. And all it does is I'm cutting a hole into my fabric. You wouldn't do this on something like, see there, it's a full-on hole right through. Aw, Libby. Let me think about that. Does lifting pins and needles do Friday sews? I also like the Ginger, what's her name? Ginger Thread Girl. That's her name? Ginger Thread Girl. And then I also like Frugalissima. The woman who started Friday Sews is Jen, and I think her channel, it's a long title. It's like What's in My Sewing Room, something like that. But if you just search the Friday Sews hashtag, there's a newer vlogger, and I kind of like her, and she's getting quirkier and fun, and I'm really enjoying it. Like, she's pretty cute. And let me see if I can find her. Let's see. I'm gonna just look at my feed and see if it's, oof. I subscribed her, so you'd think it would come up in my feed. Oh, Crystal Sews and Stuff. I just found her. She's nice. Let me see. Where is she? I just saw hers pop up, and I haven't watched it yet. And she sometimes watches mine. There's been so many comments, it's really hard. I'm going through my notifications. Okay. Here we go. Subscriptions. Oh, I like Kim Gaddy Sews. Gaddy, Gaddy. Where is this? Oh, I'm getting there. Sorry, I'm so behind. Stephanie Farrell Focus. She always presents a very polished video, and she's also has a travel trailer she does stuff for. Dang it. It was just recommended. Did I watch it and now it's not being recommended to me? What the heck is her name? I'm really glad you guys can't see what's recommended to me. All of a sudden I started getting Snoop Dogg raging at video games clips. Well, carp. Oh, oh, no. Sorry, Libby. Now I'm determined. I'm determined to find her. What the heck? Did I miss her? Oh, the Yorkshire Sew Girl. That's the gal, not Ginger Thread Girl. The Yorkshire Sew Girl is one I like, but that's not the one I'm looking for right now. Are you guys screaming at me in the chat what it is? Why? Where'd it go? Let me look at the chat. Hi, Martina. Nothing's happened. I'm looking for someone. I'm looking for someone. Alex Judge. I don't know that one. Hi, Eliza. I like the speech to text, Nancy. Yeah, I didn't either, and Beverly recommended it to me, and I'm actually really enjoying it. I think it's a good exercise for me, too. Why in the heck can I not find this gal? I'll bet it's on my phone. She has this beautiful studio apartment. It's got a loft in it. And she sews in the loft. And recently one of her videos was that she dropped the iron off the edge of the loft and it dented the floor. I was like, oh my God. Good thing no one was standing down there. And it's not funny at all, but, and then she just got a new machine. And so she did this whole like scavenger hunt. You had to guess what machine she got, which it's like, dang, that's a lot of work. Okay, well, I'll let you guys know. I can't find her. Unless I'm just not recognizing her thumbnails. What the heck? I don't get it. I don't get why she's not being recommended to me. I know she did one recently. All right, well, I'll let you know. God. Oh, I'm so glad you can't see my recommended. It would so out me on some of the silly videos I watch, especially about Fortnite. I love Fortnite videos. All right. Yeah, I give up. Oh, yes, thank you. Wandering Bobbin. You know about her already. Oh, well. No, I said well carp. I said well carp, yeah. That's my PG version. Oh, I probably didn't cut this long enough for the sleeve, but that's okay. We'll just do the top part of it anyway. All right. I'm sorry for those of you who are new or just like, get on with it, lady. How dare you? Okay. Yeah, she's pretty cute. I think like I think she's new-ish, and so she's getting her like video legs under her, and I'm kind of here for it because she's like doing new things each time, which I kind of love. The Dahlia Sew Society, I think she's in Australia, and she's pretty good too. All right. Yeah, I feel like her apartment makes me, I have more questions about her apartment than I do her sewing video. Because I'm like, ooh, I want to look around in there. It's so pretty. All right, so now we have this one. I'm going to cut these others quickly. I'm going to make it up to you guys. I have these in piles on the floor so I don't get them confused. Yeah, it's Wandering Bobbin, exactly. But, you know, honestly, like I've been kind of enjoying like Frugalissima, although I don't relate to all the Great British Sewing Bee things. Yeah, I was looking for Wandering Bobbin. You guys already knew. You're like, yeah. You guys are all so much more in tune with all the sewing YouTubers out there. And if you guys recommend some, feel free. I'm totally fine sharing the love, you know? Please put in your favorites. in the chat. Like the closet historian, I think also it's like what you're kind of into with your sewing, you know, like if you're into production sewing or you're into historical stuff, are you into knits? That was the other thing I discovered yesterday that was really disappointing about all those inclusive pattern companies was I swear about 85% of the patterns were knits. Yeah, exactly. The cockatoos. Oh my gosh, I have had this one hair plaguing my life. I just found it finally, yay. All right, so this one is, oh, on the fold, okay. So if I give it to you on the fold and the back has a seam, well, that's fine. That's fine. We can do the opposite. But I want to save some paper. Can I get that there? I can. Oh man, Janice, right? I feel you on that. It's one of the stipulations. See, I don't put a lot of stipulations on, like if someone sponsors me and sends me a project, not that many people do, but one of them is the pattern must be ready to use. I'm not taping together patterns all the time because some of these pattern companies give you a 40-page pattern, you know. That's why sometimes I just go for the print version, you know. The only thing I like about the PDF though is that I can reprint it. So if something happens, I can reprint it, which is really handy. Especially if you want to like really alter your pattern a lot and you're like, oh, you know, I already spent an hour taping this puppy together. I'm just gonna do my pattern adjustments directly on this pattern and I can always reprint it. You know, it's like a little gift. Or, you know, go to the copy shop and have them print it. Now, you want to be pretty accurate, but don't, you know, don't kill yourself trying to be beautiful, you know? All right, we're gonna do a vantage point like that. And this, this one is Sewis, and I need to tell myself this is the center front before I forget. So I have this, and I'm gonna make that a little bigger. Okay. Why is that not straight? Oh yeah, that was the funny thing. I saw this. This center isn't straight. That's kind of unusual. But I will say, like, you've heard me say that I really love when the center back, if you could put the garment with the center back seam and put shaping in there, it's really one of the best places for the shaping on the back. Here is okay at the back waist between your center and your side seam, but really there's a lot more happening at that center back. So that's kind of interesting. It's going to make it a little bit hard to tape it together. So I need to make sure this is parallel to the grain line, not the center. Is that, wait. Okay, wait, I gotta catch up on chat too. Okay. Oh my gosh, you guys have said so much. Oh, here we go. Oh yeah, the last stitch. She was in my list. Thanks, Molly. Yeah. Evelyn Wood. Yeah, she is very, like, she's got a big personality on the camera. See, I know. Oh yeah, the history is a good place. I think someone could totally do a YouTube video on how to navigate YouTube. You know, like, it's easy. Like, sometimes I like things because I want to be able to find them, and you can look back in your history of things you've liked. Oh wait, I want this right here. Sorry. I'm just making the center back seam allowance 1 inch. It's going to be a little hard to tape it together, or I mean pin it together like this because it's got a curve. But now I know why the back wasn't on the fold. This is a very old school block. I appreciate that because there's also a shoulder dart on the back. Hi Ursula, how's it going? Oh my gosh, that double notch is 1/8 of an inch apart. Rory, oh really? That's cool, Walter. Who has the Eames chair? I would like an Eames chair. My husband, I'm pretty sure that's what he has for work. They got him used for the whole company. That is true, Martina. It's easy to find. I like it's a nice way to organize. Nancy, I know. How's your arm feeling? Oh, I don't know why I just did that. Dang. So you got your manila. Wow. Do I think that fold is on the grain? It's doubtful. You know, what would the 8-ball say? It's not far off though, and I didn't leave myself a point of reference because I am hurrying. Sewing these together will be really fast. And then we're going to have a fit festival. The heck is that inch hem? One of these patterns came with facings. I'm like, I'm not going to finish off the sloper that nicely. No way. This has a elbow dart. The sleeve actually looks pretty legit, I have to be honest. A lot of these others, the sleeve cap looks incredibly narrow. So right now I am cutting out the Sewist block. One more. I just use my ruler, you know, and look at the selvage. If the selvages aren't parallel though, then I'm kind of cheating, you know. So this is the bootstrap one, and there's all kinds of like gobbledygook on here. Apparently, you know, it's like they didn't program it. They didn't finish putting in the stuff because it just says upper back, fabric type, cut. My measurements in centimeters, month, Julia, I don't know what all that is. So this is the back, the bootstrap, and then the front has a ginormous shoulder dart. I have no idea what's going on there, but it should be entertaining. Look at that thing. It's huge. Oh, it's in Wandering Bottoms. Oh, yeah. Oh, the hole punchy is a screw punch. It's a Japanese screw punch. And so when I depress it, the tip rotates. See, look, my handle's moving. And then that way you actually get a clean hole rather than like using an awl, which is just going to poke and distort the fabric. An awl works though. You can even do an awl for this, and then you're not removing the fabric. You are kind of hurting the fabric. And I'm cheating using this right now, marking the vanishing point of my dart. In fact, my vanishing point is going to end in a hole, which is totally not proper, but it's very obvious and clear. I use this because when I am doing pattern drafting and say I need this hole on the dart, I poke a hole through in the middle and using a hand hole punch. I'm losing my words here. I can't reach in the middle of the fabric to use that, plus it's too big. And an awl, if you use an awl to do it, if you don't mark it properly, it can disappear and you can't tell that there's a drill hole there. So this is kind of one of those tools, and it's, I think, used a lot in paper crafts. And you can get removable, the tips removed, and you can replace them. This one's not too bad, and in different diameters. You can buy these at places like Waywack and Beyond Measure in the UK. She's got a really lovely assortment of sewing specific tools and things. Oh, that's a good goal, Nancy. Yeah, this dart is epic. I'm sorry. It's going to give me the giggles because I'm feeling a little punchy. This one is also not... Oh, Allison, thanks. That's interesting. Okay. I hadn't laid any of them on top of each other. Thanks, Allison. That's awesome. I appreciate it. All right, so I'm going to, this one is also a curved center back seam. Very interesting. Never seen this before, and now I've seen it twice. Maybe this is a method for some like schools of thought when you're making these. My school did not do that. So, you know. All right, so let's see here. This is my MO. I'm putting the piece that's not on the fold on the selvage, and then putting my sleeve in that spot left. And then I put my front on the fold, but I also slide the fold over so that I'm not wasting as much fabric. And I have a little bit left. Too much going on my table right now. All right, we can get rid of the bolt now. Are you taking off, Nancy? Oh, wait. Not all patterns have back seams for... Yeah, you know. Welcome, Sue. That is, you know, really all you're doing is you could swing out that amount that it's curved to your dart. You can just straighten your center back and then see what happens. Really, I would just straighten the center back seam and see where you want to put that excess, if there is still excess. So that's how I would probably address it. Because, yeah, not all patterns really need that curved back waist, back waist, center back waist. Oh my gosh, I've had too much coffee, I think. Maybe that's what's going on. Yeah, so I just measure from the selvage to the fold. If it's parallel, it's on grain. That's it. Ooh, this is so interesting. They have these little, can you see those? Little tiny, like, nip. I don't honestly know what that would be for. This one is very similar to that. Oh my goodness, why are the darts? Okay, they're cutaway darts. Fine. The problem with a cutaway dart is there's no fabric there if you wanted to adjust it. You can just add it back. but still. Okay, we're on the bootstrap, right? Always notch your centers. I just do a little diagonal nip. We're going to sew these inside out. Hopefully we remember to do that. Sorry. That dart, though. Very traditional. I'm loving this. This is so fun. $20 of blocks. So much entertainment. I got to keep really good notes after this because I think it'll be good to reflect on this. And I need someone to vacuum my studio. Yeah, that cutaway dart though, right? I see those. Jenny Hassler uses those all the time. She just surges them, I think, or something. 8.5. I was looking for the grain line. I couldn't see it. That is an optical illusion, right? Last pattern piece. No, second to last pattern piece. In fact, let's move you over so we have room for the last pattern piece. Look at this huge hem. I should probably cut that hem off, to be honest. I should have kept my pattern pieces with it just so I can also see what seam allowances are in each of these. So we'll have to transfer our piles. This is how I get things accurate. You know, like, say you really need to. I was just doing a video the other day and I was cutting out a box like this on the camera in the middle of the paper. And sometimes when you need to get really accurate, I put my finger here and I press whatever it is I'm doing against it, and it makes it so that I can really position it. And it's the same with this. That's what I'm doing when I go like this. Just a tip I've learned. Last piece. Yeah, it's just muslin though. We about that YOLO life, Nancy. Where did I go to school? Are you asking me? I went to FITM. There's no green line? Oh, there it is. Okay. I went to the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising in LA, downtown LA. You hear about places like Parsons, which wasn't a big deal when I was in school, and then an FIT, those are East Coast or New York based. FITM would be the West Coast. There was like one project, one-way season there. That was it. Well after I had left. Oh my gosh, I'm cutting this kind of badly. You love my confidence. Do you love my cavalierness? I don't know. I'm not as accurate when the blade's facing me. This is a very traditional sleeve, and it's very easy to get rid of the elbow dart and make it symmetrical from the bicep down. But it is a really handy tool, and the sleeve fits a lot better. It's more something you're going to see in, you know, tailoring and coats and things like that, active wear, stuff like that, stuff where the fit of the garment makes a big impact through the sleeve. All right. Okay, we have bootstrap. Where's my, here we go. Yes, I clean up. You have to watch the cleanup. All right. We have this company, Sewist.com. And Pattern Lab. All right, let's go sew these up really quick and get them onto the dress form. If I DM, yeah. Sherbet lollipop. Oh my gosh, sure. Wait, slower to belabor the punch, but you wouldn't use that method outside of a sloper? No, I wouldn't. I mean, I take that back. When I'm bag making, I absolutely use my screw punch. And in the production, in like a factory, what they do is, and don't apologize for asking that stuff. It's totally fine. You're not belaboring it at all. So say you're in a factory and this is your dart, right? What happens when the pattern drafter marks the dart is that he or she puts a back off mark. And so this might be where you want your dart to end with the sewing machine, but that's not what would get marked on the fabric that was cut. They would put what's called a back off. And so lots of places do about a 1/2 inch back off. And so what they do is they center a little mark in the middle of the dart, and they do it a 1/2 inch away from that vanishing point. And then, absolutely, they don't use a screw punch because they don't mark things, see, they don't mark things one layer at a time. What they use is, and actually, and what I think of is might be a little now like out of date. They might have a more modern way of doing it. They probably burn it or something like that, but when I was there, what they had was a needle that went down through the stack of all the layers of fabric, and it had slots on it, and it would blow a puff of chalk dust in all those layers. And so because of that, because that needle is puncturing down through 200 layers of fabric, it's going to obviously hurt the fabric. And the chalk is the concern, it's the fact that that needle has punctured it. So that's why they do a back off, so it's inside the seam allowance of the dart, and then they sew around that, right? So you don't even come close to that. And as a sewer, you get really good at knowing, you know, where to go, right? So you sew your dart together. When you come down, you see the hole right there, right here, and you sew past it. Like, you get really good, and maybe if you're new at the place, you get checked there, right? So this is probably not someone they give this task to, a new sewist on the sewing machine floor, because that precision is kind of important. And your sewing floor supervisors are coming around and checking, you know, that right there. Because, you know, you can't just be like, yeah, it's past it. At least I got the hole inside the seam allowance. No, it's got to still end right there. So that's why. And so I use this as a pattern drafting tool, but I also used it at Chicken Boots to mark the tack button on one of our products. It's not meant for fabric. I should say that. It's meant for paper. I use it on fabric. It dulls it faster, but it saved me time. And we loved it. So, and like I said, it comes with a bunch of different tips. So say you're someone who wants to sew paper together, or maybe you want to, you know, for like journaling and paper stuff, or maybe you want to make your own 3-ring, you know, binder holes. I mean, this is the biggest one. They're all in millimeters. I don't know them off the top of my head. And then the smallest one, I think there's one smaller. No, I'm using the smallest one right now, and I like the one above it as well. So all these others are brand new except for those two, and then these are chewed up a little bit from using them. And then I usually get the, you can buy the tip you want from Beyond Measure. That's why I know about her, because she was the first person I saw that actually knew about this tool for garment making. So if you're not a sewist who's like, my stuff must be absolutely pristine on the inside, or say you're making 30 chipmunk costumes for your daughter's play, don't ever say yes to that. And if you need me to help you say no to that, let me know. But if you're sitting there sewing 30 of these things, you gosh darn right you're going to drill the hole with a hole, right? So thank you, Cynthia. So why not, right? Like, who cares what the chipmunks costumes look like on the inside, you know? So, and now and see, here's the thing though, if I say, hey, check your ready to wear garments in your closet and see if you can find that little mark on the dart, what I'm going to bet is most of you don't have garments that have darts in them. But if you do, that has now, I feel like, become garments with darts in them are more of a it's like better wear, right? So there's categories in the pricing of garments, and so budget and I don't know what's above budget. Better budget? I can't remember. So like Target would be budget, right? Target, Walmart, Kmart, that's your budget market. And then probably above that would have been like, when I was growing up, like Mervyn's and JCPenney's and things like that, right? And so there you'd probably start seeing garments with darts, because you're going to start seeing professional wear and things like that, affordable professional wear. But just even if you're in one of those stores, like one of those department stores like Kohl's or whatever you have in your area, look inside and you might be able to see that little mark. It's pretty interesting what they used, and it's still visible to you because it's a dart. But most clothing we buy is knits, or it doesn't have shaping. So anyway, there's my TED Talk. I'm going to go to my machine now. Jamie Lynn, if you are at the beginning of the stream right now, you're not going to hear my reply for a long time, but that is such a good question. I'm trying to think if I noticed any that allowed you to put in measurements for asymmetry. And I feel like it was talked about on a couple of them, but I didn't look at that. So I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to that, but it might be worth looking at, because there's plenty of custom block makers. I did not pick these folks because I have any information about them thinking they're better or worse than anybody. Are you, Nancy? Yeah. You have a similar tool to use with some freestanding lace machine embroidered. It's the punch. Oh, interesting. Okay. What time is it? Holy moly, I'm wasting your time, aren't I? Okay, we got to move over here. We're going to turn on the iron as we walk by. And we need to move the camera. And the computer so I can see you. Which for some reason is really tight in here lately, and I don't know why. Oops, there we go. The lighting over here is kind of weird sometimes. I need the mouse. And we'll rotate this light over there. Get a drink. I forget I have a wireless mic on, so you could hear everything. All right. There's the block we did the other day. Okay. Let's do this. All right, so first up we'll do the sewist. And when you're doing things like this, same with like when you're doing a toile, calico, muslin, prototype, whatever, you don't really need to finish your edges or anything like that. Right, Martina? I knew. Yeah, I don't, I just know that from experience that, because when I've thought about, wait, doesn't this have like a, this looks like, wait, did I not mark this one? What is this? Oh my gosh, I didn't mark this dart. Okay, so this one is, the sewist one is got a shoulder dart and it has the open center back, and then the front is on the fold, but somehow I forgot to mark this, sorry. Didn't we just go over it, or is the mark just like way down there? Oh yeah, it is down there. Holy smokes. Okay, it's there. My goodness. Okay. Wow. I actually don't think I've ever sewn a dart this big before. Watch it be perfect. You're all looking in your closets. You're like, I can't see the hole, which is usually very obvious. It's just so far down, I'm looking in the wrong spot. Gosh. Oh no, that's not a hole. That was like me dotting the I. I am not nuts, okay. Oh no, no, there it is, there it is, there it is, there's the hole. Okay, okay, okay. Gosh. That is, I am going to guess past my apex. Wow. Will I ever? Wow. See? Don't you love it when I'm right? I mean, I do. Yeah, it's, because if you thought about, like, if you were gonna sew 35 of something, even if you're gonna sew 8 of something, wow, this is so long, I feel like I'm not even being accurate. I may need to draw a line. This is huge. Wow, look at that. I was way off. You don't want to, can you imagine picking up every single one of those layers, your left and your right front, and marking the dart? And what if there were 2 darts? So I think that when you think of it that way, that kind of drives it home what the garment industry kind of has to do in order to be able to do so many at once and try and be profitable. So they have some pretty amazing equipment to help them with that kind of stuff. And so the other one we had, oh, this is like, I'm like blind here. The other thing we used was a drill, and it just would drill a hole down. And then other ones were a hot needle, which was great for synthetics. That's probably what Barbara saw, was the synthetic one. Yeah, bookmaking. Yeah, for binding. That's what I mean, like the holes that you make. I just was very distracted, but yeah. It's not a cheap tool, and I will tell you guys, when I was a young pattern drafter and freelance, I did it with an awl, and I also learned a marking technique so that just in case the awl hole got smoothed over, there was a cross hatch over the hole, so that, same with a drill, I always put a cross hatch because sometimes that tears, sometimes it just kind of gets off center. Maybe you're using Sharpie to mark it over and over and over again, it gets soft, it just kind of loses its way. And so that cross hatch lets you, when you go to retrace the pattern and make a fresh, clean copy, you have the original pinpoint mark of where it is. And when I bought, like when I remember the day I bought my rabbit punch, which is that hole punch that lets me hang up my patterns on a hook, I was so proud. I just remember being like, I just bought my first rabbit punch, like it was a $65 tool. It seemed like such a huge splurge to me, and it just made my life so much better. I wish I'd done it sooner, because I had so many clients' patterns. I had like 2 huge pattern racks full, so, and then same when I got my first screw punch. I remember that day too. I was like, ooh, my stuff looks so legit now, Okay, this is a 5/8 inch seam. I'm just gonna do the underarm of the sleeve because it's sitting here. Oh, this has this has a dart. Oops. Let's put that dart in. You gotta do your dart first before you do your underarm. Otherwise it won't sew together. Bookmaking is for gamblers. Come on, let her have her fun. That feels hardly like 5/8 of an inch. I lost my way up here. I had to take a little break there. Well, you're gonna see me sew my darts confidently, but also kind of not the way I normally would. I never backstitch the tip, ever. The most frisky I get with my darts is I'll do this. I'll go to the tip here, I turn it, look, my hole is there, that's why my needle is, and then I backstitch into the seam allowance of the dart. But most of the time I hand tie my darts, and I don't go that fast. I don't usually sew a garment like this. So when you put a drill hole in the garment or the pattern piece, then you can also just use a Sharpie to mark that hole, right? Or chalk. And then you also would want a, oh my God, you guys. I'm trying to make the wrong side of the fabric the right side. So which way do we think this dart's going? I really should press it. It's going towards the shoulder. I think if you're doing your sloper, I really think you should press it in between. Remember, you're going for accuracy on this. You're not going for nice sewing, you're going for accuracy. So take the time to press it. I'm just kind of trying to speed things up a little bit. I'm not making my block. We're just testing these out. Oh my God, I just cannot win with this fabric. Why am I so confused right now? Well, at least we'll remember which one this is. Yeah, me either, Eliza. I think it depends on my bra, you know? I feel like the way my bust is shaped as well is that the apex could be considered in a few places. Oh my God. Press that. It lines up with the shoulder seam ever so nicely. I guess we'll push that dart out that way too. Hello, Mrs. Canoe Fletch. This is awesome. Awesome. I'm doing some of my worst sewing ever, but I'm so glad you're liking it. This is, do you ever do this, you guys, where you're so excited about seeing the end result that you start, like, doing your worst sewing ever? Yeah, Nancy, I feel a little bit like that, too. I feel like I'm jinxed. And I think it's that, if you had a home ec teacher jinx, don't you feel like it's like, and I know all my home ec teachers aren't even probably alive to this day, but I feel like, yeah, I'm not allowed to, you know. Look, I did this one. Oh my God. I really wanted my fabric to be this side out, and it's just taking me a bit to get used to that. I'm going to press these so far, and then we'll put it together, and then we'll have one done. Okay. Just press the sleeve one way. Really, we just want nice and flat because when we go to fit it, it'll be a little easier. Let's get rid of some of this fold down the center, which I should have ironed out anyway. To get my dart nice and smooth, I always put the iron in there like that. I'm always like of two minds when it comes to seam allowance. Like pressing it open is nice, but putting it together, it makes it a little easier to fit sometimes. The size of this dart. I'm not laughing because I think it's wrong, you guys, either. I just didn't realize it would be like this. You know? Didn't look like that in the picture. It's comical. You know, and maybe if one of you did it, you would have a tiny one. You know, like, it's probably me. I'm missing one. So there's no dart, waist dart? I thought there was a waist dart. What the heck? There is on the back. Huh. All right, fine. Okay. Oh, nice, Libby. Have fun. We'll see you later. Have a good weekend. Right, Nancy? Yeah, it just comes together. That's the thing is like, if you're not doing 3 of these, you're going to be done in an hour. You know, like you're going to be able to put in your measurements, print it out, cut it out, and sew it in like an hour and a half. So I feel like if you just want to relax and do this in 2 hours, you know, at the very most, including tech issues and whatever junk happens, you at least have something to try on, you know? And for, you know, this one, is this the back or the front? This one. And for this one, is this the $2 one? I don't quite remember, but I'm going to try and set my sleeves in without an easing stitch to save some time, but it might go badly. We're here for the drama. Hi, Rebecca. How's it going? I know I'm missing some comments probably. I'm trying to get to the best part, you know? All my pins are on this pin cushion, so I have no excuse. Oh yeah, can I do that? Can I ease that? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that was a mistake. Why is this so hard over here though? One of these I noticed that the curve at the armhole was pretty sudden. Maybe this one. Oh yeah, I don't know if I can do that. We'll see. Let's see here. All right. Setting in a sleeve without putting the gathering stitch in. Should have just put it in. It just takes less time, you know? I've said I'm doing this to save time, and it's probably not going to save me time. Oh, I know what I'm feeling. I'm feeling that gigantic dart. Okay, that is kind of weird. I'm feeling the fold of the dart, and it feels like I'm sewing on the like the garment's folding under my foot. That's what's going on there. Something to think about. There's very few instances where that dart is going to stay there. So it wouldn't be there. If this was my block, I'd move it. The current trend is, you know, the side seam and the waist. The dart can be anywhere. All right, one down. I just had a panic attack that I put it in upside down. I didn't. Well, I put a big overlap, so we'll be okay for the center back seam. Problem is that I'm all over the place with my fabric. Okay, so this is the Sewist, and now we're going to do Pattern Lab. All right, so let's look at our pieces here. Pattern Lab. This was the one that I ended up using. They're 16. So the front is open, the back is on the fold. The sleeve is the one that is just loose. Only a front waist dart, back shoulder dart, back waist dart. They all look marked. Okay, good. All right, so nice. Doing some heroes work, Rebecca. Yeah, that is true. There's a shoulder dart. Shoot. That's a good point. I think a zipper would be, or even Velcro maybe. Velcro. Did I not nip the, I did nip the dart legs. Where's the nip? I see the nip in my paper right there. Where is it at? I hate it when I can tell that I marked it, but I don't see the mark. You know? Well, they're there on that one. Okay, good. All right. Do all your darts first. I don't know why I was even doing the shoulders first. I am being kind of bad right now. Too eager. Let's calm down here. Let's see. Okay, there's mine. Do all your darts, then do your shoulders, then your side seams, then your underarm seam, and then your sleeve. That's the order. Always. Are you playing hooky then, Ray? Is that why you're lurking in the hall? Aww. Right, Eliza? Guys are welcome, you know, to go get a snack and come back for the fitting. The grand reveal. Yeah, and you know, I think Cynthia actually brings up a really good point, because if you're fitting your own sloper, honestly, having a center back seam is kind of a problem, because most folks don't have a dress form, you know? So I think that's a good thing to think about, because you might want to maybe select one of the ones they have that doesn't have that, or if you can specify it, because all of them had multiple options for their block, right? So you can pick one to have, you know, as many darts. I saw some with double waist darts, because that's another method. I still did this on the wrong side. And then that's something to think about ahead of time. I think that's really smart. Oh my gosh. Sorry, it's I'm trying to make the wrong side of the fabric the right side of the fabric, and it's really throwing me for a loop. Not to mention, all these are a little different from one another, you know? I always get so nervous when the dart folds on the legs, and for a second there, it doesn't look like the center is gonna be the hole. There it is right there. I have a really big needle in my machine. That's why, I don't know if it looks like it to you guys, but it's kind of chugging a little bit. I'm getting ready to do some production sewing on some heavy duty stuff. And I was going to go on a stream yesterday and just do that with you guys. And then I realized, oh wait, you're not ready for the Saturday stream quite yet. This is 1/2 inch seams. lest I forget. Uh-oh, why Rebecca? Why Sydney? I was looking at other people's names. Yeah, exactly, Barbara. It's so hard to do. Every time I do something like that, it really, and look I've got a whole mess here. You know, it's like, that's not my usual either. And it's because, yeah, I'm just kind of making it hard on myself. That's what I'm doing. What did you buy, Sydney? We all want to know now. Okay, front, back. And then this one is the front. Okay, great. There you go, Ray. You and Eliza. The truant kids. How dare you ditch my class? Oh, did you see I'm cheating on this sleeve? I'm going to try it without sewing the underarm first. I never do that. I'm kind of a stickler for that. I thought that it might be kind of a nice thing to do since I'm not giving myself the easing stitch. Sydney, you got to tell us what you did. Are you writing it in chat and I'm not seeing it? Did you get like a hot dog floaty for your pool or what? A visor with a fan built in? My imagination is running wild. This is me this morning. My husband's like, I found something on Craigslist I want to show you. And I was like, okay. He's like, I want to show it to you. I was like, okay. And then I started like hurrying, getting ready. I was like, what is it going to be? And like, this is me. So my cat, Haku, everything I do always involves 3 different stories. So my cat Haku has been terrible lately. He won't come in at night. And see, there are far too many dangerous critters in our yard to let him hang out outside. And so by himself. So he didn't come in one night, like the night before last. And I got so frustrated with him. I was like, all right, I mean, I didn't really want it to end like this, buddy. We've had you for a long time, but I hope you're there. And I like didn't sleep well. I kept trying to get him in. He just loves laying in the yard. And he stays very close to the house. And I don't think for the most part that the foxes are like looking around for him or the bobcat or anything. And I think he's also aware enough, you know, but at the same time, you just never know, right? I don't want to worry about him. So he didn't come in. He didn't come in all day yesterday. And then it wasn't until 1 a.m. that I got him in last night, right? So this morning when my husband says, I found something on Craigslist I want to show you. I'm like, what's it going to be? You know? Like he's not like, oh, I found an attachment for the tractor, or I found a new woodworking tool I want. It didn't seem like a birthday or Father's Day hint, which usually, you know, like that glint in the eye. And so my imagination starts going, well, what could it be? And then I'm like, ooh, is it some crazy weird thing to like get our cat inside at night? Because I am exhausted this morning, and I was exhausted yesterday morning because I didn't sleep well because I kept waking up all night to try and get him in, and that was on my mind. And so you guys don't get too excited, but I mean, so one of the things I thought about wanting, because this one's done, is I've been thinking about ways to make us feel less stressed out during fire season at our house. And one of the things I thought about was, why not get like a retired water tanker? You know, like firefighters and military retire, those kinds of things. maybe even the neighborhood could go in on it. You know, what if we did that? We could stand our ground to a point because we're in a pretty good area to do that. And I don't want to get into all the details about that, but that's what it was. It was someone is making home defense, like water trailers. So it was pretty cool, you know? And that's what it was. So it was kind of cool. He knew I would be really excited by that because I'm the one that is thinking about that. And I've been thinking like, you know, so it had nothing to do with my cat. Wait, I just saw something. Oh, a catio. What's that? Wait, did you, oh, you got a catio, Sydney? Wait, where does it say that in the chat? Why, I have it on the, oh my gosh, did it switch? It did switch back to top chat. Gosh darn it. I did, Ryan. We had a Chihiro and a Haku. We lost Chihiro though. They're both from Spirited Away. Good on you for noticing that. You got an outdoor cat run? Oh, that's what I need for my cat. I hope you post pictures about that. I want to see that because that's what I'm thinking right now. I'm like, dude, I'm going to put you in a chicken tractor. I need a catio. I need a catio and I need Wonder Woman's lasso for my cat right now. Freaking giving me anxiety all night long. He's, you know, and he's been losing weight. He's a big cat. He's been losing weight and he's still out there looking like a tasty snack, you know? Like, come on, man. And Michael lets him out. Like, Michael lets him out during the day. And me and Cricket are like, no, why did you let him out? Because my husband goes to bed pretty early. He is never awake for me and Cricket trying to get him into the house. And we have this whole thing we do, and it takes forever. And then we're double teaming it, and she's texting me from her place, like, I hear him, he wants in. And I'm running down in the middle of like a game or whatever and trying to get him in and like banging on the food dish, you know, like all these antics. Oh God, I put the, look at that. I put this dart on this side and this dart on this side. Wow, I just really can't like get the hang of it. So I need a catio. You're right. You know what? I just brought my chicken coop home. I'm gonna make him live out there full time. He can go in the chicken coop if he wants. Oh man. Oh, this dart feels a little weird. We're almost done, you guys, and we're gonna try these on the dress form. I feel like I may have missed chat. I'm sorry if I missed anyone's comments. I usually put it on live chat, not top chat, which is at the very top of the chat window. But probably because I was navigating to sharing my computer screen with you, it pulled it off of that. So many of us need a catio. And see, we're also trying to lure Cricket's feral cat into our house now. We're trying to be like, all right, dude, you got to start moving in with us because she's moving away. And he watches Haku. Like, he's like keeping an eye on him. Okay, here's the cutaway dart. Or V-neck, no. Yeah, exactly, Ray. Ollie is completely fine out there. He's been surviving for like 2 years on his own outside. He can climb 20 feet into a tree in a heartbeat. This is seam allowance. So right now I'm working on a bootstrap. Where's the, oh, okay, fine. All right, look at that. I'm lining it up there, but it's not really lining up, so let's get that a little better. I guess that's not really the seam allowance though. There's the hole. Where's do you guys see it? What the heck? I just want to see the, oh, here it is. Seam allowance. It's like 5/8. Okay. Look at that hole. It's like way down here. Very contrary to what you think. Need kind of an eyeball. That's the weird thing about cutaway darts. They're kind of counterintuitive, so. You didn't buy a catio, you bought a cat run. Behind me, to my left, I found it. It was underneath the others, under these. All right. All of these are different from each other, so it is kind of like, okay, does this one have waist darts? This one too has a very small waist dart, very large shoulder dart. Can you imagine if I were hand tying these just for this? Wait, did I not get that to the, what the heck? Okay, I need to resew that one. I thought I was on the hole. The hole is really hard to see. Like, you think it's gonna be like really obvious, but because it's not pen or ink, it's really hard to see it. I'm gonna sew this one again. Look at how crooked that was. There's the hole. What the heck? I would draw this in too if you do yours. I can't get this to go straight right here. There's something pushing it. There we go. God. Okay. That's kind of butchered, but. All right. Home stretch, home stretch. Let's do this. Now these darts, the cutaway, they press towards the center front. I thought that was kind of strange that that one pressed towards the armhole, and that would be definitely something I would probably change because of it. I could feel it when I was setting on that sleeve. On some of them, Nancy, not all of them. Some are 5/8. The Pattern Lab was 1/2 inch. Yeah, that's why I'm kind of struggling too. It's definitely keeping me on my toes, all these different things, you know? You're going to post the cat run too. Why is that one not matching up? This one is a little not marked so good. All right, so let's see. Oh my God, I still did it right sides together. Okay, so I'm gonna put this as my right side. This is the back. And then this one is the back, is the not on the fold. And that is the neckline. Okay, here we go. All right, 2 more seams, maybe 3. And then we get to try them on. I'm going to set this one in, same thing with the armhole flap because I'm not doing the easing stitch and cheating. Looking at the seam allowance. My sister just got a kitten and he is so cute. He looks like the kitten from Kiki's Delivery Service. Any of you know that? Oh shoot. Gigi. He's, oh my gosh, look at this. I've got like my pattern or my fabrics are all over the place. This, I don't know about this one. I may need to ease this one. Holy moly, yeah, there's no way. He's just like super sleek, black, solid black, really pointy ears, super cute. All right. You didn't get a cat. So what? Why was your husband making fun of you? Wait, what did I miss? Were you just pranking us? You got me really excited. Dang it, Sydney. I'm living my best kitten life through you. And your kittens that you got. I'm living my best bird life through Mrs. Necro. Pin in the shoulder. Look at that. How much ease is in this? What did I do wrong? I could get the front, but the back has a lot. Is it like, huh? What happened to it? There it is. That might be beyond my ability. I do need a catio. You know, I've been thinking like, we don't really have the time right now to do it, but it would be cool to like, just kind of enclose our back deck because we have a deck that goes all around the whole house. Just a simple deck. It's beautiful. Just wood, you know, and it's got skylights in it. It does make our house, the downstairs, a little dark, but it's so nice. It's like having so much more house on the outside, you know. It's like increasing the square footage of your house without it being indoors, you know. And I've been thinking like, what if we enclosed the back part and then we just let Haku go in there? I think he'd love that. Look at my fabrics are all over the place and you guys are just gonna let me get away with it, right? I really want the white to be the right side though so you can see it. And I just don't think it's going to be that visible, so. All right, 2 more seams. Did you do a 5/8? I did, because it is. It's a 5/8 inch shoulder seam. This one's 5/8, you guys. I promise, look. Look how huge that seam allowance is. It's 5/8. Yeah. Stop making me second guess. I'm feeling a little circus acty today. This many different patterns this close together, trying to make the wrong side of the fabric the right side, keeping track of seam allowances, darts, which side, which, oh God, the sleeve has a sleeve dart too. Oh my God. It's like a mystery, you know? I said recently, hey, you know, give me pattern suggestions for what if I sewed a pattern without instructions? What would you like to see? I haven't really gotten around to doing that yet. I can't see the hole. There it is. This is kind of feeling like that right now. It's not hard to sew all these things together at all, especially when you're doing it as bad and quickly as me right now, but it is hard switching between all of them. And I don't want to be too far off because I do want to give each of them a fighting chance to fit. Thanks, Cynthia. Why aren't I setting in the sleeve? I wasn't setting in the sleeve only because I'm kind of cheating. I wasn't using the easing stitch, and so then I had to use the easing stitch even though I was doing it flat. I'm just trying to save time. That's all. I usually always do, Martina. I'm going to iron these a little bit. Which Studio Ghibli? What is a Studio Ghibli movie? You will Google it, yeah. That is their anime movies, and they're beautiful, and the stories are all just so endearing. They're never what you think they're going to be. The bad guy and the good guy are never who you think they are. I love them. There's even a few about cats. But like some of the famous ones are My Neighbor, oh, I forgot a side seam. My Neighbor Totoro, that's one of my absolute favorites. And Kiki's Delivery Service and Spirited Away. Those are probably my top 3 until you mention others. And I'm like, oh yeah, I love that one too. Howl's Moving Castle. And you'll recognize like famous actors and actresses doing the voices in them because they're dubbed in English. Nausicaa, Valley of the Wind, or Castle in the Sky, The Cat Returns. There's a lot of them. Once you see it, you're like, oh yes, I've seen these before, you know? Like you might not have seen the movie, but you know what we're talking about. We're going to get this, you know, just nice and smooth so we can try it on. I got some tucks in here, but gosh, it's actually way better than I thought. It's pretty funny. Too much ease in there. I asked for 1 1/8 in one of them, but I don't think it's this one because 1 1/8 would be pretty easy. All right, this one's pretty good. This dart, which way does that go? Look at that, it doesn't line up with either one. Okay. I feel like one of you is going to send me a bolt of muslin in the mail after this. I'm just trying to use old fabric that, I mean, it's actually really good quality fabric. It's just, it's extra. It's free. I tried selling it. I sold as much as I could. I got tired of selling it. Oh, I keep forgetting to tell you guys that I'm having a 50% off sale on my website. Everything, including all my patterns, through next Saturday. Just as a birthday thing, and I had a lot of sewn product on there and kits, and I just want to clear it out because I don't have the space here. This is the big full sleeve at the bottom. I'm just trying to get some of these seams to lay flat. All right, we just need to sew one underarm seam and then we're trying them on. All right, Sydney, see you later. Have a good weekend. You know, Janice, I don't do it in a basting stitch, but in general, what I like to do is fit it on the person with the seams facing out. Like try it on both ways, but then when you go to fit it, turn it inside out so that the seams are on the outside. So that way you can adjust them if you like. You can also pin it all together rather than sew it, but I think if you're doing it on a real person, that's pretty tricky. That dart is so narrow. Oh, I saw that, Florentine. Yeah, thanks. All right. So here's our free sewing dress form. I mean, not dress form, sloper. I'm going to move my cart. Is that okay? Okay, so this was, oh, that's a good idea, Barbara, the chain stitch. Yeah, so, all right, so this was the free sewing one, and this side, I think, is the side that is how it was. So you can see that it hangs loose right here. It went past my waist seam here, but it went all the way up a little bit above my waist seam in the front. I had to take out this dart, so I let it out, because otherwise there's a lot of little, like, it's kind of billowy right here. And when I let out the dart and kind of let it relax, I could actually get it on there a little better. Oh, this is the one I actually let out and relax. It fits better. This one's the one that's kind of poofy right there. This is the side. I tried to do a photograph of it. The side I haven't altered and the side I kind of altered, but there's this crazy amount of stuff going on here. Look at, here's the neckline. I just cut into the shoulder and I'm missing this whole wedge here. And I also moved the dart, made the back dart much bigger and moved it closer to the center back. The armhole's obviously crazy. This should be where my armhole is. So this one was pretty far off. Could I get it there? I could. It's free, but it's a lot easier because I have a dress form. So not for everybody. All right. So that was the freesewing.org. All right. Now this one is Bootstrap. All right. So this one I think has the center back seam. I'll turn it the other way if you guys want. I mean, I do have a weird back shoulder fit issue. Maybe we'll see it on all of them. Maybe it's not just the free sewing thing. All right, so on this one, I allowed an inch overlap. And when you do that, normally what I like to do is draw that 1 inch directly onto the fabric. And then I fold one of them, like turn back an inch. That way they line up, you know, like this. Like you would iron one of them back like this. And then that way all you gotta do is match your raw edges together. It kind of gives you a guide. This, I can't, the neckline is just way too small. I can't get it all the way on. So I'm just going to pin the center back and then we'll see what we think. Oh, thanks. This is the Cashmerette Upton dress in, I think this is Brussels washer linen, which means like you don't even have to iron it. It's so awesome. I actually felt a little bit dressed up. Yeah, it is. It's the Upton, which also comes with a pleated skirt. I made this, did I make this last year, you guys? Or the year before? I think I made this last year. All right, so the front's not too bad. Armhole, way better. Look at that. A lot going on back here though, so I'm gonna clip into my neckline here and release it. This might be just because there's 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. So don't judge something until you remember that. Like I would actually trim the seam allowance off of the neckline when you go to fit this. You don't need it, and you can't really tell if something fits with it on there. Don't cut your really nice dress form. Okay, that's way better now. See, it's kind of relaxing a little bit. So this is, again, this is bootstrap. The shoulder is a little wide on me. I think this is pretty close. Like I could pinch in a little here. I have a really weird back waist issue and backward hip tilt. The armhole is in the wrong spot. I would probably move that because look, I would want to kind of do this, you know. Let's actually do this. Let's clip into this seam allowance. That's going to help let it lay flat. All right, so, you know, the cap should be a little bit more like that, you know, like on top. It's got some gathers in it that it shouldn't have. That's not a bad change though, you know. This one's not too bad. What do you guys think? 2019? Oh, 2 years. Last year? This one is the bootstrap. So this one had the cutaway dart. It had a center back seam with shaping. I clipped into the neckline to let it relax and actually get on there because the seam allowance was preventing it from getting on there all the way. Is the front long or the back short? There's a lot of seam allowance on the waist. So I think there's an inch seam allowance on this, so I think the waistline could go up a lot. My waistline's getting taller and taller. And that's the other thing, I wouldn't put a seam allowance on your waist because you need to see where it's at. You kind of want this to be kind of like a, you know, like a template. Something like more like that. The sleeves definitely would need the most fitting. It has an elbow dart, so you're going to see that kind of gentle bend. It would probably look better if you couldn't see these darts, right? If I turned it inside out, it'd be smoother. This is pretty good though. I think this is actually a really good starting point right here. There's ease in here, and that's okay because you just need to know what your ease is. If you don't want one with ease, you can just take it out, you know, make it all tighter. There's a little bit of pulling right here. You see that? It's very tight right here. Same here. Look at that. It's very tight through here. You'd have to kind of address, I'd have to address that. All right, let's go to the next one. Oh, I should take a picture. Can I take a picture, you guys? So I don't have to pin all these on after the stream. Oh boy. The lighting from this angle is not great. All right. The armhole, well, it has seam allowance on it. No, I don't think it's too small. It might be a little bit, but remember, it's got seam allowance. So it would be actually down here. So no, I don't think it's too small at all. All right, this is my done pile. All right, next we have, drum roll please. This is Pattern Lab, and this one has a center front seam. Yeah, I think that the armhole definitely was fine. Remember that seam allowance was on there, and that can really, that's why I say like trim it off your neckline, trim it off your naked armhole, trim it off of that one. Wish I would have remembered to take my own advice and iron this back an inch, you know? Wasn't very kind to my future self, was I? This one has a lot more ease. This is what you want. You want something like this where you can turn back that 1 inch, line up those raw edges on there. You have a lot more purchase there to actually grab it with pins. So this one, it's funny, this one has the dart on the inside, this one has the dart on the outside. It's a lot bigger, like tons bigger. Look at this. This might be the one I saw had 4 inches of ease. Look at that. That's too much ease for a sloper. Sammy. Yeah, I remember when I made this, I was like, I don't have enough red. I like red. All right, I'm gonna clip the neck because this one, what I say, this is Pattern Lab, right? So this one had the 1/2 inch seams. So let's clip down 1/2 inch on the neck so that it will relax. I also think like if you're going to do this, it's really great if you draw on the finished lines on the pieces. Like draw in your seam lines on here. I'm giving kind of a bad example on how you would fit these things. I don't know why the sleeve has to be, you know, like huge down here, you know. The armhole looks pretty good here, except there's can't really lift your arm up, but this is huge. Huge. Same with the shoulders, you know. It would be more like this, and that's kind of a lot. I would just trim it off. Yeah, I mean, slopers don't have to be tight, but I think like maybe 2 inches of total ease in your circumference is enough. Just because if you have too much, you end up having to take it off for lots of the patterns you might want to draft, you know? So it's nice to have it where you just add on what you need. I don't know why this, I don't know if I could specify on this one the amount of ease that I wanted, but I do feel like this one, for the most part, looks okay. And there might have been ways to customize this. There were also other blocks, so maybe some of the other blocks had less ease. So like this, you know, here's the apex. Very close to my actual apex. I would allow that. This looks pretty good right here. You know, I have a, you know, kind of a belly, so it took up a lot of this extra ease here. But you know, this and the seam line, the side seam is actually on my side seam here, so that's good. Same here. I mean, look at that. That's my side seam. That's my side seam. You know, and this hangs pretty nice back here, but then you see this and you're like, oh wow, I had no idea there was that much ease. That's not like it's too much ease. Like if you're wearing a garment, you'd probably like that. You know? Point in case, or whatever that expression is. I have a good dress on for the most part for this, you know? Wish I would have ironed that back. See, so that doesn't feel like too much ease. Look at that. The sleeve is, ugh, you know. I think this one's pretty good. So far, this would be the one I would pick. All right, last but definitely not least, we have Sewist, the sewist.com. This one has a center back seam. This is kind of fun. You know, at least you're not calling me Smarmy, because that's what Word likes to autocorrect my name to. You know? I know you're eager when you go to put your trial on, but take the time to pin it accurately on the seam line. And like I said, I think drawing in all the finished edges is really great on the ones that aren't sewn, you know, like the bottom and the neck and the armhole doesn't have a sleeve on it. And this one's pretty good. I have one of the shoulder issues I notice is that I sometimes have a lot, like I have to take it in right here. Like I have like a hump here or something, right? So remember, this is a seam allowance, right? And this one I think was 5/8 as well. This is the Sewist one. Oh, it's oh. Oh. All right, well, I may have sewn this one a little bit inaccurately. This one has, looks like 5/8 on the shoulder, 3/8 on the armhole, 5/8 on the side seam, 3/8 on the armhole. Whoops. No, Cynthia, because I have my dress form. So yeah, it's a little easier. She's custom. That helps a lot. I cheated. Oh, Beatrice. my twin. I call her Baramy, you know, like Beatrice and Saramy. I know she really does need a better name. But I feel like she already has a name because she's a Beatrice, you know. Maybe I need to have a name my dress form contest, or maybe for my 3rd year anniversary. So, why would the sleeve be hard to raise on the Sewinglab? Is that the one where I was going like this? That was the first one, right? On Pattern Lab? Didn't I just do the Pattern Lab? I thought that one was pretty good. I thought that one was pretty good. The bootstrap would be a little bit hard. It's not that it's hard, but looking at it like on yourself, it is a little harder to make those kinds of armhole adjustments that are big like that. But the thing is, like, maybe I would have tried it on and it would have been okay. So what I have found is, and I think I told you guys this the other day, when I had this dress form made, Allison said, I'm really excited to see where you put your shoulder. And so you get to pick where their shoulder ends right here. And I kind of agonized over it, and I don't really think I got it quite in the right spot. I do feel like my shoulder ends maybe right on the edge here, maybe a little past, you know. This one's pretty good, except, you know, there's no waist dart. This is the one with the gigantic dart, you guys, and it's way out here. So it's in the wrong spot. It needs to be over here, you know? Like that. So I'd have to move this dart, because here's my apex right here. Here's the dart. It's got to go an inch that way, and it needs a waist dart. Those aren't very hard to change. You literally, you know, you cut this out and you move it over. You blend in your shoulder seam. It's not too bad. Like, of the things, this is actually pretty good. So far, my vote would be this one or the Pattern Lab. Let me try the bootstrap on. This is the one you were asking about, Eliza, right? Oh, the one I tried on. That was the Pattern Lab. Okay. Wait, does this go back? Did I have this on backwards? Yeah, I do. This is why, like Cynthia said, that would be kind of hard to fit. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know how you would fit this. It comes way up on my neck. So this one is the cutaway dart. Sorry, my microphone is under there. I hope that's not too bad, you guys. If the armhole feels tight, see that right there, that pulling? Ray, where's my studio assistant? Okay, so the Pattern Lab one felt better than this. This is not as off now. When I try it on, I'd probably want to bring it only about 1/4 of an inch up. That's not too bad. This is a little easier to move my sleeve up and down. But, ooh, it is really pinching me right here. The back armhole is really tight. Is the idea to be creative and make your own patterns, or is it easy to take then take it to a pattern that is too small and upsize? You could do that. So the idea with having a sloper is both those things. You can create your own designs, or you can lay it on a store-bought pattern and make your usual fit adjustments. You know, like say you always have to do the FBA, or you always have to do a shoulder slope adjustment or whatever. You can kind of lay it on there and it'll save you some time. All right, so this one I liked, the Pattern Lab one, right? This is the one with all the ease. All right, so I think like one thing I will comment on is that because it has all the ease, it's so much easier to fit. But like I said, maybe you don't want your sloper to have all that ease. Granted, if you're not going to make garments that are tighter than this, then keep it in there. It's a little loose right here. Sorry about the microphone. At least this one I can try on, right? Dupla me. That is pretty cute. All right, so this one I feel like needs a waist dart. And this was the Sewist.com. The sleeve looks like it's in the right spot. Dang picture. I'll try this one on, but it's got the back seam. I don't know why they would do that. Makes it really hard. This back armhole's way better. It's so funny, like, based on Nancy's experience with bootstrap, I think my expectations were a little higher. I'm looking at the video. So the sleeve, look at how far down it is on me though. So maybe if I could get it. You're gonna need a buddy. But who wants a buddy doing this? I ask you. How do you say that, Walter? Okay, I really can't get that back there to get my sleeve in the right spot. Maybe it's better than it seems. The front's, you know, it's okay. It's definitely, you know, how's this armhole? This armhole's not bad. Ow! This one is the Sewist.com custom one. Is this the one that's $2 or Pattern Lab? I know. Yeah, so Sewist was $2.50, Bootstrap $10, Pattern Lab 8 pounds. So what do you think? Cerebi? Okay, I like Cerebi. You guys are past this. Yeah, but Nancy, there were quite a few bootstrap blocks, I think, to pick from. I like Cerebi. instead of bury me. Well, that's the thing, Walter. I think like if you're doing a sloper, what I would do if you get one that has that curved back seam is I would straighten it out and put it on the fold and put the opening at the front. Sarah B is a cult. Oh, shoot. Are they my viewers? Because I'm not about that life. That stresses me out. And I think to do that, we'd probably have to have like just a tiny bit of instruction on that. But if you want to wing it, I would wing it and just know what you've done. So if you need to straighten out that molded back seam, I would leave the neck and the shoulder as close to what it is already, and then just go straight down so that you can put the whole thing on the fold and make sure you have a right angle at your neck, you know. The sew seam pretty good. Yeah, which one was that? This one was, yeah, the Sewist wasn't too bad. I like that one. That's the one that didn't have the waist dart and it had the massive shoulder dart. It was just a little too far away from the center on me. I think so. I mean, for $2, yeah, exactly, you guys. And there's a few to pick from. I think if I were to pick one, I would pick the Sewist or the Pattern Lab. Depends on what I like to fit and what I don't like to fit. I have to say, at first when I saw all that ease on the, I think it was the Pattern Lab one, I was a little like, oh, that's going to be too big. But it does make it easy to fit, even if it's not maybe all the ease that you want to have in there. The Pattern Lab one, I didn't do from custom measurements. I did from their size chart. So you can even do you can actually put in your measurements and do your own. Sarah Yu. So when I meet people named Sarah Nancy, we always go, oh, you're Sarah Yu and I'm Sarah Me. So I don't think I could do that. I love how Barbara's like, Sarah B is a cult. I'm like, no, you're not doing that. Yeah, me too. Sarah B. I like that. Yeah. Sarah B. You don't like Bear Me. I know you guys don't like Bear Me. But it was B-E-A. And then part of my name. Sarah. Oh, God, you guys. All right, fine. We won't talk about blocks anymore. See ya. Guys are so funny. All right, so where do we go from here? Surprisingly, I like the idea of using one of the custom blocks. And we didn't even explore the fact that you can buy blocks like on Etsy. What is the least easy to have a wearable garment? So, like, why did they put the back seam at the back seam? I know exactly why they did it. Because I forgot people are trying these on, not dress forms. They might, if they were in the chat, they might argue with me about that, but come on. Yeah, I agree, Cynthia. I like that idea. Bear you. Yeah, so the other thing, yeah, Sarah B, I do kind of remember that. Oh my God. No, yeah, you know, be careful, you guys. YouTube's watching. They see all your chat. They'll just put a strike on me, demonetize me, because they're like, oh no, cult talk in this channel. Yeah, because you think it's easier to add the ease, Martina. Wait, so you don't, what is the least easy ease to have a, oh, you're asking what is the least ease to have a wearable garment? All right, well, the least amount if you're fitting this by yourself, you're gonna need a little bit of extra ease. I wouldn't go less than like 1.5 inches in circumference, and that's gonna be tricky. It's gonna be tricky to get it on and off. You can, you're just gonna, if you have a friend to help you, yeah, I'm ignoring you guys. If you have a friend to help you, pin it onto you. And if you can put the seam at the front, I feel like that's the best. If you don't have a friend, make sure the seam's at the center front and make sure you get it pinned on accurately. And then you can do like 1 inch of ease. I mean, you're talking like formal wear type of tight now. But I think like for like a good starting point of ease, 2 inches is pretty comfortable. 2 inches is about a wearable garment, so 1 inch would be less, and then now you would have, you know, more options for tighter things. And I think also if you're going to have a garment, like you can, and then you can even take out these altogether and have a 0 ease garment, and then you could probably use it as a knitwear, like easier to go into knits, which is negative ease. So. Yeah, Walter, we did have questions. We wanted to ask you about some of the things you were up to last Saturday. We forgot. I won't bring it up here in the chat, though, but just stuff you're working on. So I think like Cynthia and Martina have the right idea, making it a little smaller. I think that's a good plan. Oh, what's that? That's missing. What is that? Where'd that go? Oh, it's below my... Well, whatever. Oh, yeah, Ray? Do I think... Well, that's the thing, is you could just sew that shut and put, yeah, God, you're right. You're totally right. That's what I should have done. I should have just sewn it shut on the center back and taken the front off the fold and added seam allowance. Eliza is very smart. Way ahead of me. And I say I'm a professional. No, we wanted to ask about your other thing you're going to work on. That you bought something for. Yeah, so Eliza's right. So what if you just, this is the, this is the back and this is the front? No. This is the front. Yeah, so what if you just sew your back shut on the seam line, and then instead of putting your front on the fold, add seam allowance. I don't know why I didn't think of that. It's because I'm hungry. I'm really sorry. I'm punchy, and I'm keeping track of too many things right now. I didn't say there was a contest to name my dress form. You guys are making me have regrets here. Walter, did you see that Spoonflower is having a sale? I think through tonight. I ordered I finally ordered a lot of my fabric designs. I have like too many because I'm so mediocre. Oh, it's 2 o'clock, wow. All right, so I think the only thing we haven't covered as far as possibilities to make it easier for you to start your block is going and buying a block. Like, you don't even have to do the custom thing. You can go, if you search blocks, slopers, patterns, like put those words in there, you will find a ton of them on Etsy, and I would look for the size range that you're looking for. And so what you get is, it's like a home sewing pattern. It's going to have your front, your back, your sleeve, maybe a skirt. I can't remember some of the configurations. And then there's a size chart. So if you find that you fit into a size chart and one of those custom, they're not custom, but with some of those blocks, you could start with that, and you could even grade between sizes and things like that, because you're going to get a nested set of patterns to do. And so that way, if you don't want to do this whole custom thing by entering your measurements in or whatever, there's that option too. And if anyone wants to like buy some, I'll try it out. But I think you should, if you're going to pay me, you should just pay and do it yourself, you know, and save your money. Which one do I think had the best fit features? For my body, I think I would go for Pattern Lab or Sewist. And I think I'm leaning towards Pattern Lab, right? I think it was the Pattern Lab one I was leaning toward. Because this one does have the waist seam. This one was the one with all the ease though. So if you want less ease, maybe go with the Sewist. I mean, I don't know. Your body may be different than mine. You're welcome, Cynthia. Well, Walter, we weren't talking about spoon flour either. It's a long-term project you're talking about. Oh, you're using your method to kind of check what I get some. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, if you want to draft your own from the flat pattern style I did back in December of 2019, that's in the pattern drafting thing. That's also a good list of measurements to have. I would, Eliza. Absolutely. Hands down. I would definitely pick one of these rather than drafting. Hi, Florentine. Ah, thank you. Nice. I'm so glad. Thank you for the tip. I appreciate it. Sleep well. Have a good weekend. So next week, I kind of want to have a free week next week. I'll stream, but I want it to be kind of open. I really need to just finish a few things, catch up on a few things, and not have the obligation of what I'm doing. I'm gearing up for the menswear sewing in June and to do some of the 100 Acts of Sewing projects from her book. And I think that'll be a really great way to carry over this talk about doing slopers, because we're going to use her patterns and I'm going to try them out and everything. I can't remember if I'm making them for her or me though, so I got to look at that. Jeremy Sloper School. I'd have a little Snick as my mascot. All those S's. Yeah, but Eliza, I would absolutely use one of these. I mean, the Sewist, like I said, it's $2. The Pattern Lab was £8. Bootstrap might work better for you as well. Like Bootstrap could work, and that one's $10. String Codes was $17, but the Curvy Sewing Collective recommended them, and I didn't do it just because it's $17. I don't think that's a lot of money, you guys. It's just that all these little bits, they just add up for me. So that's why. Happy to try any of them people send me though. And I even think like, even if you were new, like you had a new dress form and it was custom and you were like, oh gosh, now I need to drape all the things. That's a lot of pressure. If you've never draped before and you don't know how, I would still buy one of these blocks and start there. Why not? Now you have your shiny new dress form to kind of fit it on. And you're just going to get better and better at the draping thing as you use it. And if you get one through Beatrice, there's tons of draping classes. So this was just meant to give you guys a really good starting point so you're not drafting it by hand if you don't want to go through all that. And because I think it's more that you guys it's not that you guys aren't willing to do the work. It's more like you're probably in the same boat most of us are, where you're like, I don't want to do all that work and it not work. Night, Ursula. Thanks for coming. I think you placed an order too. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. I already shipped it. Everything shipped yesterday. Oh, the binding badges. I still need to order binding. Yeah, I'm glad, Eliza. Good, I'm glad. I'm glad you guys are getting something out of it. I just really want you guys to feel confident about trying it out and then trying it on you. And I made it, you know, in 3 hours, I cut and sewed 3. And I taped one of them together. Okay? That right there should tell you it doesn't take too long. Good, I'm glad, Martina. Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. All right, well, so like I said, let me get my little notebook. Down to business here. So let's see. Next week, I think I'll leave it kind of free. If my fabric arrives and I can get this other stuff, maybe I'll do that little bathroom rug because I want to do that. I really want to sew for fun, and I'm kind of needing that. I need to sew more fun stuff right now that's not so wrapped up and stuff. I'm way behind on all the videos I want to make. I'm just feeling a little buried. I still haven't done my silly laundry basket that probably nobody wants but me. But I have to finish it because that's how I am. And then we have the menswear. So I'm going to do menswear probably the week of June 23rd, June 30th. I'm probably going to take a week and a half off in July because my daughter's moving. And I want to be really full and present for that. And then I'll do menswear July 7th and 8th, the week of July 21st and July 28th. So I'm devoting 5 weeks to menswear this year. I should probably sprinkle menswear throughout the year, but I like making the middle of summer all about menswear. It's kind of cool. So that's my plan. The week of June 9th and 16th, I'm probably going to do more pattern drafting and the 100 acts of sewing stuff. That's my plan. Night, Sue. Yeah, exactly. I think you should just, if you have a couple bucks, buy a block, try it out, see what happens. You know? Give yourself some space to work on it though, but yeah. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks. There's been a few new Patreon patrons. That's awesome. My tier 3 is filling up, which is pretty cool. There's like 5 of you who haven't told me what time you want to meet. If you don't want a Zoom meetup, that's totally fine. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is make 2 tier 3 categories, the folks that want to Zoom and folks that don't. So far, Eliza, I'm making the Wardrobe by Me cargo shorts, the chinos, and that jacket with all the pockets on it. Kind of like a canvas looking jacket. It has a waist, draw cord waist, but I might leave that off because I don't know about that on my husband. I don't think that's his style. We'll see. And then I'm open to 2 more. I'm thinking Quadra Jeans by Fairfield. I'm open to things though. Please tell me. I was going to do underwear and he just said, I don't need any more underwear. I was like, okay. You'll have to use last year's underwear streams for the men's underwear. Those weren't good though. Those were actually really easy to sew. I was kind of bummed he didn't want any more because I was like, oh, those are so easy to sew and fun though. And my new machines, it'll be so great. So I'm open if anyone has some suggestions. I think someone has given me a couple and I'm forgetting and I feel terrible. I hope I'm getting them. So yeah, you need to finish that sweater to make the chinos. That's right. I may make one of those projects an uploaded one. Someone said they want to make the cargo shorts, so to keep that one live, that's great feedback. I'll do the cargo shorts live for sure. The jacket, I think I should keep that live because that's going to be a long one. Chinos could be an upload or maybe another one. So anyway, we're thinking about it. I have so many things I need to plan ahead though. So I'm looking forward to the chinos because that's going to give me a perfect opportunity to make a uploaded video on double welt pockets. Because I'm such a pro at them. I hardly ever do them, but I'm not afraid of them. I'll do it. So All right, I'm gonna go eat. All right, you guys. I'll see you guys this coming week. But know that it's probably going to be a week where I'm here and working and stuff, but streams, I may just do production sewing streams. I really need to sew some bags. And then maybe I'll just work on content creation for uploaded videos. I know that doesn't make any sense to you guys and you don't care very much, but anyway, I'm just speaking out loud because that's what I do. I will see you guys next week. If you want to buy one of my patterns or one of the very few things left in the products, go for it. They're all 50% off on my website. No code needed. It's just there. So thanks a bunch, you guys. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.